You're dumber when you're sober.
Yes, I am. Welcome to Close Enough Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Jay. What are you drinking today, Mike?
Today I have a Japanese sex cocktail.
You've got my attention.
I knew I would. Well, a Japanese sex cocktail is 1/2 ounce of coconut rum, 1 ounce of amaretto, 1/2 ounce of melon liqueur, and a splash of pineapple juice. Throw it all into your shaker or whatever you want to use. Chill it with ice, strain it, and enjoy.
Why is it a Japanese sex cocktail?
I have absolutely no idea, but I found
that
it.
your job?
I've been looking everywhere for it. I couldn't find it. That's part of the reason my phone's dead. I was trying to research this damn thing, and half the time I'm like, Japanese sex, yeah, let's make sure we put in the word cocktail afterwards, when I'm fucking searching for this shit.
So is the drink all pixelated?
No, it's just a glass like that usually, or a nice fancy cocktail glass. Some of them had sugar on the rim. That was one of it.
You know what I just learned about Mike? Mike doesn't watch Japanese sex videos.
No, I do not.
He doesn't.
But I do know what you're referring to because they're not allowed to show pubic hair.
And they're not allowed to show anything.
But no, I do not watch Japanese porn.
Why not? It's the best.
So, Jay, what are you thinking?
Well, actually, I got a little bad news for you, Mike.
Bad news?
Yeah, you're going to have to finish out this show by yourself. 'Cause I got to go.
I guess I can wait. Where the hell are you going?
Not really sure, actually, but I just saw on the internet that the atheists have declared war on Christmas. Not only am I an atheist, but I'm an atheist activist. And I didn't even know. I didn't even know we were getting called up. So, I gotta go. I gotta link up with the other activists and head on out and, take the war to them.
So is this what all the tactical gear is for?
Well, yeah.
And you got your guns ready to go? And
Absolutely. If there's a war, we gotta be ready for it.
I don't think that's the kind of war that you're gonna need that for.
No?
No.
I think you might be right, actually, Mike. Let me get you up to speed on what I saw. So Bill O'Reilly announced the opening shots for the war on Christmas this year, fired by none other than American atheists. You know the American atheists, right?
Yeah, I think I'm looking at one.
Very clever. The organization American Atheists, headed up by David Silverman.
Okay, yes.
You ever seen the guy standing across from Bill O'Reilly as Bill O'Reilly can't figure out the tides?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's seen the face of "Are you fucking stupid?" Well, that's David Silverman, and his organization, American Atheists, has launched off the holiday season with a billboard. Billboard features a young girl wearing a Santa hat, writing a letter to Santa, and the letter says, "All I want for Christmas is to skip church. I'm too old for fairy tales." About 5 of these billboards up around the country, all in the South. Very red states.
I was gonna say right smack in the Bible Belt.
Oh, of course, You don't put something like that in the middle of Connecticut. You put something like that right in the Bible Belt, that's where it's going to do the most good. That's where atheists need to know that there are others around, so they feel a lot more comfortable coming out. It can be a lonely place in there for the few that think. But Fox News is leading the charge with groups like the 700 Club following close behind.
Oh, of course.
The American Atheists are a bullying group. Billboards are, quote, insulting and sadistic. It's Bill O'Reilly again. They claim that atheists are trying to remove Christ from Christmas, as though Christ belonged in Yule to begin with. We're not trying to take your damn holiday away. They get pissed off when people say, "Happy Holidays." Fuck you. You're not the only game in town. You've got the Jews, the guys whose religion you stole. Well, they've got a holiday going on right in the middle of the month. And there's the 10 days or whatever of Kwanzaa. Of course, Yule, and everybody's favorite, New Year's. That's the retail man's holiday. It's over! Returns.
Yeah. You had already mentioned taking a Christ out of Christmas. The holiday, as you were just saying, the holiday season is the holiday season. Mm-hmm. Christmas is one day. And, I remember growing up in the church and being forced to go continuously throughout this whole entire month. Like, it was some dire need if I wasn't there all the time. And I'll never forget the first time my mom tried to explain to me how you can never put down Xmas on something, because that's crossing out the Christ part of Christmas.
You know what's funny about that? I'm going to interrupt you. The X, you know that the X is actually representative of Christ, right?
Yes. The whole point of that, though, is that the X is representative of the cross, but the way they used it, or the way I was told, was that, taking the X is taking Christ out of Christmas. I remember that was the first time I ever heard that, and I'm like, really? I always thought that was just somebody putting it on the mail because it was easier to spell.
I thought that Xmas fit on the roof in lights a little better than Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't know any better. And all of a sudden, that was one of the biggest ordeals I remember hearing about growing up all the time. So now there's a billboard that, and I think you worded it perfectly, that's around for other atheists to be able to come out and know that they're not alone. I myself am not an atheist, but same thing with the Satanic Coloring Book.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good that there's all these other religions are finally trying to stand up to something. This country's been overrun by the Christian religion so much. I mean, going back to Within God We Trust, coming into the pledge in the mid-50s, and the schools, everything being overrun with this God and this Christianity. People will say, oh, don't vote for this person, he's not a Christian. Well, you don't know what his beliefs are. They could be something that's better than Christianity. It's more about morals, it should be. It shouldn't necessarily be about that.
Let me ask you something. You said as a child you were dragged to church for Christmas, and it was important that you be there.
Multiple times a week, yes.
So, I mean, does this billboard resonate with you?
A little bit.
You know, all I want for Christmas is to skip church. Too old for fairy tales.
At one point in my life, I wouldn't say too old for fairy tales, but definitely always wanted to skip church. As I got older, obviously, I definitely felt the too old for fairy tales part was just, it was too much. I mean, and, you know, you're hearing the same story over and over and over, where you can watch a Christmas special on TV and get the same message. And that's if you really want your kids to sit down and watch that.
Mm-hmm. The message is be good, because a fat man is watching you and judging you. And if you're good, then he'll reward you. So, I like Christmas. I'm going to go out and say that. Christmas is pretty cool.
Nah, I'm totally a Krampus.
I don't care about Christ. I honestly don't know that the guy even existed. There's not a lot of extra-biblical references to him. I don't think it's important. I don't think it matters. It's the same as my opinions on Thanksgiving. People say, oh, it's a celebration of the separation of a land and its native peoples. Maybe. Who gives a fuck? It's a time to get together with your friends, enjoy each other's company, exchange gifts, and be happy, and enjoy yourself, and drink cocoa, and get nog-faced. They're trying to take the Christ out of Christmas. He doesn't belong there in the first place. It's a pagan holiday.
Yes, it is.
For the celebration of togetherness. They say Jesus is the reason for the season. Axial tilt is the reason for the season. Just fucking enjoy it already.
Amen, brother. A Close Enough podcast is brought to you by Clockwork Garage. Clocks, keychains, and more made from recycled auto parts. Visit aclockworkgarage.com for all your holiday shopping needs.
We've now arrived at the Close Enough movie review. This week we watched The Ghost and the Darkness, a 1996 Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer film set in 1898. It's the story of two hunters hunting two lions that were harassing railroad crews trying to build a bridge in Savo.
Can I just jump in here real quick?
Absolutely.
This movie was not in any way, shape, or form what I was expecting from the title.
Was that a good thing?
It was good. Going into it, and I didn't read the description. I just watched the movie. So I'm thinking Ghost in the Darkness. I'm thinking ghosts and something else going on in the darkness. So he's in Africa. I figured there was going to be some sort of tribal thing going as far as while they're working on the railroads, they have some sort of mythology or some creature, something mystical that's going to happen. Yeah, I didn't realize it was actually based off of true events and was going to be straight up about lions. So at first I was a little disappointed in that. I was looking forward to seeing some sort of crazy creature. But then as I watched the movie, dragged on a little bit, still turned out to be a good movie. I ended up enjoying it.
Well, good. Glad you enjoyed it, actually. I mean, it was a true story. It's one of 3 movies that have been made about this event to date. Unfortunately, the only one I've ever seen. I didn't know too much about it going into it either. I laid down on my couch, turned it on, started watching. You know what? I enjoyed it as well. I'm a big cat fan myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I found myself through the whole movie rooting for the lions.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they are an apex predator. And there were some inconsistencies. That's not the way that lions hunt at all. But historically, the reasons they were attacking the railroad workers was a virus in the area that was killing off some of their normal food sources, as well as a drought that was causing some of their prey to become more scarce. Lions, of course, being resourceful animals, found another source of food, a plentiful source. And reports vary, but up to 135 people were attacked and killed by these lions over a 5 or 6 month period.
Wow, that's unheard of. As you had said, it's uncommon for a human to be a normal lion prey.
Generally, they keep their distance, but humans, well, they're made out of meat. No claws, no fangs, no spines, just soft and pink.
No spines.
Quills. No armor plating.
I thought you were going for the pun.
It wasn't a pun, no, unfortunately. So, the events in the movie were real. The people in the movie were real. So, let's get your impression on the actors. What did you think of Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas in this film?
In this film, Val Kilmer was pretentious and ignorant at the same time. And I'm not saying his character, I mean him. The way that he held himself was very awkward the whole movie. Michael Douglas, on the other hand, man, he was, I liked him. I liked his character. I liked the way he played it. I don't know if that's the way that person was supposed to be played, but I enjoyed it. He kind of came in and broke the monotony of Val Kilmer.
It's very interesting. He was top billed on this film. Didn't make an appearance until 45 minutes in.
I thought it was even longer than that.
It was 45 minutes.
Jeez.
One thing about, Val Kilmer is Patterson. I've got a thicker Irish accent right now than he had in that movie.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Irish. The little lackey guy, the Lord of the Rings Hobbit knockoff guy.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
Lion
food number 4. The Christian.
Yes.
Feed him little lions. Didn't miss that asshole. But, he had an Irish accent. And you got this other guy who's supposed to be Irish. And you put him next to someone who's Irish. And it's like, the feck is his name? It's like Antonio Banderas trying to play an Arab.
What the... Did he do that?
Yeah, 13th Warrior.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My absolute favorite movie of all time, but it's...
That's right.
It's like, the guy's, 6 foot something?
Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
Something like that,
And he's supposed to play this little 4-foot Arab? So they had to find 7-foot tall actors to put around him. Because he's going into the north. But we're getting off topic.
Yes.
Best movie in the world, though. But I thought Val Kilmer was alright in the film. I'm going to agree. Michael Douglas made it. He was fantastic. But have you ever seen him bad in anything?
No, nothing off the top of my head.
No. Eventually we'll get around to doing The Game. You'll like that. That's a powerhouse of a film. But we're not reviewing that one either. So what about the lion attacks themselves? What did you feel about those?
The lion attacks themselves?
Yeah. I mean, did they seem real to you? Or were they...
I felt like I was watching Jaws on land.
I'll give you that.
Especially
with the tail popping up out of the
tall grass. Yep. It was like dun-it.
House cats are smart enough to put their damn tails down when they're stalking something.
It's the first thing they do before they wiggle butt.
Oh yeah, they totally get that traction in there. It's a kitty burnout.
I like that one. It's a psycho kitty burnout.
Yeah.
But no, the attacks seemed over the top for me. I enjoyed watching it because I enjoy anything that's going to have some blood, guts, gore kind of thing going on. But they were definitely over the top a little bit. How about you? How did you feel about them?
I mean, aside from the fact that lions don't hunt like that, they just don't. It had that 90s CG feel to it.
Oh, good God, yes.
Which, it's unfair to come to a movie almost 20 years later and be like, the graphics sucked. I mean, it'd be like playing Castle Wolfenstein right now and being, this is a terrible game, there's no jump button.
Well, I was about to say, this was a 90s movie.
Yeah, it was 1996. Looking at it in that terms, it's almost unfair to knock the CG. It was actually probably very good for its time. But you watch it now and you just go, ugh, really?
There was a couple spots when they just showed this giant fake paw that would just come down and while it was, supposed to be hunting. And I mean,
the stick.
You could just see that. I was just like, oh, that's terrible. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Now, there was one attack that made me leap out of my chair and cheer. I did. I leapt up and clapped and said, oh, yeah, that'll learn him. And then it was followed by the greatest letdown I've had in a long time.
Okay, which attack was this?
When the lion took out his wife and son.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, I leapt up and went, yeah!
Did you really?
I did.
You
I leapt
applauded
off
and
the
everything.
couch.
Dude, that was
I
amazing,
clapped.
though.
And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, really? Really?
Just even the anticipation for that scene was coming up, and you see the lion just
Go back.
going.
Go back. That's like picking a woman up at a bar and taking her home and finding out she's a dude. It's the ultimate in letdowns.
Biggest letdown ever.
It is.
That was a really good attack scene, though.
That was great.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was going to have to if you didn't.
High point of the movie, man.
By far.
No, I did. I found myself rooting for the lions after a while. I mean, first off, my favorite little secondary character, Mahina, I liked him. He was the foreman.
Yes.
Looked like one of the bad guys from the Temple of Doom.
Right.
I thought he was cool. He was a cool dude.
He was.
Samuel was cool, but this guy was just one of those badasses. And he's the first one that gets dragged off. And you're like, oh, how long have we got here? Another hour and 40 minutes, huh? This will be brilliant. I will say on the length of this film, it ran a little long, but I don't think it was so long that I was angry. At an hour and, an hour 49, hour 51, right in that range. I think that's about the distance that I can go in a movie. Last couple of weeks with 2:08 and 2:15, I think it was, and I just felt too long, way too long. This one could have done with some paring down, but I don't think it ran too long.
No, it took me a little bit to get into it. I felt like the beginning was a little slower, and I didn't quite know I didn't know what I was watching. So watching the beginning of the movie, I'm like, okay, come on, get to it. What's going on? What's going to happen? And then when I realized what's going on, okay. But then once it really hit in, I was like, okay, this is getting to be a good movie.
And you know it wouldn't be a close enough review without me nitpicking the movie.
Of course.
Two things. One, when they exchange rifles on the hunt with the not the Maori. The Maoris are from New Zealand. That would have been weird with the Maasai, and the thing misfires on him. And Remington's like, you never go into a combat, or you never go into battle with a weapon you don't know. 20 minutes later, when he's sitting up on that plank, he's like, here, take my gun.
Yeah.
Hey, remember all that thing I bitched about you before? Forget it. It's fine. Don't you worry.
I didn't notice that specifically, but I did find that odd. That why did the guys trade his guns?
Well, I mean, the reason he traded it, apparently the doctor's gun was a more powerful weapon.
Okay.
It's like, hey, you're hunting this giant fucking man-eater. This might give you an edge.
And it misfires.
Or it won't fucking work. Haha. I did like Remington's gun. The double rifle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
That was nice.
Very cool.
I'm surprised that we agree on a gun.
It's a double rifle.
Yes.
Shotguns are for pussies. Double rifles are for men. That is the proverbial elephant gun. Yeah, I said it. Shotguns are for pussies. Give me that look again.
Just continue.
I've still got a gun right here, you know.
I think mine's in the other room, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you bring ammo?
No.
Oh, well, you can try and club me to death with it.
Alright.
The only other nitpick I had was when he was up on his platform and the owl attacked him. You heard the owl flying in. You don't hear owls flying in. That's kind of their thing. They're silent. They're predators just like cats are. If you could combine cats and owls, nothing would be alive. The meowl would be the perfect predator.
Interesting thought.
And they'd be adorable.
Agreed.
But, you know, the movie ran a little long, and now we're running a little long. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Good, strong 7 out of 10. It's not something I would have sought out on my own. I'm glad it was suggested. I enjoyed it. I'm a little bit sad that the lions were killed in the end. But being that it's as long as it was, and I didn't get bored with it, I think it was pretty good. So 7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
I was a little bored with some of it in the beginning. It took me a little while to get into the movie. Once I did, though, I did enjoy it. I'd recommend this to somebody who hasn't seen it, at least for a single-time watch.
Can I ask you just a quick question about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that it wasn't what you expected going into it.
No.
Did that hurt or help it?
At first, it hurt it. So I think maybe that was why the first half of the movie, because I was almost expecting some sort of a mystical African horror kind of thing, which, you know, sometimes the things that are real are the things that scare you the most.
Of course. So that got you a 6 then.
A 6.
Okay. Well, I guess that wraps up this week's review. Let's grab the Close Enough trash can and see what we've got in store for next week. Your bill of $735 has passed. Mike, what the hell do you need $700 worth of mayonnaise for?
That was for you, okay?
Actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. looks like next week we're going to be watching Stretch. So, go ahead, cue up Netflix, pull up Stretch, give it a watch. Join us next week to see what we thought. Now that we're past the movie review, well, you know what's coming, Mike.
Yep, I know what's coming. I'm not looking forward to this.
Oh, don't worry. You should know all about it. You just watched a movie about it.
This is definitely a return beatdown, isn't it?
We're going to find out in a few minutes, but I sure hope so. This is a game that I'm calling The Lion King.
The Lion King.
Yes, The Lion King.
Pennsylvania! Yeah,
What are you doing?
That's a movie.
It's a movie.
That was part of the movie.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, if you say so. Well, this is a game that I'm calling 10 questions about genus Panthera that Mike's not going to fucking know.
I can't even say that.
Genus Panthera.
Pantalones.
Pantalones. No,
Pantalones.
that's wrong.
You're wrong.
Minus 10 points. Well, the score to beat is 4.5 points. There are 13 points on offer here.
I shouldn't have given you that half a point.
Yeah, but you did.
Yeah. I felt bad for you. You gonna feel bad for me?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Now, you said a ballpark. I was off by a year. That's way less than a ballpark. I should have gotten the point. So, question 1. The lion is a member of the genus Panthera. Genus Panthera, hereinafter referred to as panthers, is comprised of how many other species?
I am not 100% sure. Actually, I'm not even 50% sure. I will say 7.
You would be wrong.
Am I way wrong?
You're only a little wrong, but you're wrong. Genus Panthera is made up of, we'll say 4.
4? Okay.
Now, just to throw you off a little bit, here comes your bonus question. Name the other 3. We all know lions.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 others.
Tigers.
That's 1.
Leopards.
Leopards is correct.
Panthers.
Panthers is actually not correct. Panthers are a member of the genus Puma.
Interesting.
That's a weird...
That makes no sense, but I was just...
There's
okay.
actually not an animal called a panther. They're cougars.
Ah, that's... I knew that. What the hell?
But they're members of the genus Puma. The 4th answer we were looking for was jaguar.
Jaguar. Oh, jeez.
And I also would have accepted snow leopard, although not classified taxonomically. They are considered a panther as well, due to genetic comparisons. So we would have accepted that.
Alrighty then.
Okay, going into the second question, you've got 2 points. So that's a strong lead. You got an opportunity to get 9 more. Question 2. Among the panthers, the leopard's claws are unique for what reason?
Isn't there a 6th toe?
That is completely wrong.
Okay. No, that's a Hemingway.
What's a Hemingway?
About 15 pounds.
You might lose a point for that.
No, I don't think I can afford to lose any.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be making stupid jokes. The leopard's claws are actually unique because they cannot fully retract.
Really?
Mm.
So no kneading on those.
Oh, they'll need you just fine. True or false? Male lions do not hunt for food.
True.
That is true. Male lions patrol and protect territory, while the female lion, or lioness, hunts for food. True or false? Lions can purr, just like domesticated house cats.
I want to say true, because that would be pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure that's false. I think tigers can, but I don't think lions can.
So you give me 2 answers. You're going to go with true or you're going to go false?
I'm going with false.
False. False is actually correct. You got 4 points now. The unique structure of the hyoid bone, along with the panther's larynx, make panthers the only cats that can roar, but this prevents them from purring. They do still love cardboard boxes, though.
Oh, that's great.
They really do. Which of the panther species is the largest?
Of the species that we're referring to right now.
As panthers, yes. Genus Panthera.
Largest as in weight or length?
They're one and the same. The largest one is the heaviest and the longest.
Okay. I honestly don't know, but since we've only got 4 to choose from, I'll take a guess and just say tiger.
Tiger is correct.
Woohoo!
Tigers can be up to 11 feet long and weigh almost 900 pounds. What is the hybrid offspring of a lion and a tigress called?
The hybrid offspring of a lion and a tigress? I feel like I should know the name of this, but I cannot come up with any answer for you.
The answer we're looking for is a tiglon.
A tiglon?
Yes.
That sounds like something made up.
That's a real thing. It's the hybrid offspring of a lion and a tigress. She was over there mouthing liger. Fuck you, Napoleon Dynamite.
Thank God.
A liger would be a male tiger and a female lioness, but they're cute as hell. In the Ganges River Delta of India, Bengal tiger attacks are common. What simple techniques do they employ to help prevent tiger attacks?
Put up a fence?
That's your answer?
Is there something more in depth? You said a simple technique.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a simple technique.
And that would be wrong.
Crawl in the fetal position?
That would also be wrong.
Run around screaming, "Ah, there's a tiger after me"?
No, you don't have time to run around screaming. You find out that there's a tiger attack when it bites your spine.
Climb a tree?
You're just shotgunning answers at me now?
Yes, I am.
No, tigers prefer to attack from behind. So the fishermen and woodsmen would wear masks on the back of their heads to ward off attacks.
Interesting.
The tigers have since figured this out, though.
I would imagine.
But it worked for a while.
Did not know that.
Big cats, such as panthers, have made their home on every continent except one. Which one?
Australia?
That's a good wrong answer, but it is the wrong answer. The one we're looking for is Antarctica. There are no cats in Antarctica.
And that would make sense.
Of course it would, because it's the correct answer.
Jackass.
In the film we just watched, Patterson set up a platform to hunt the lion from. Were he hunting jaguars, how tall would it have to be out of the cat's reach?
Ooh. I don't know what vertical leap that the jaguar would have, but I do know that it would be up there.
Your answer's got to be a number.
Pretty frickin' high?
Well, pretty frickin' high is not a number. So should I just mark this down as incorrect, or?
40 feet.
Well, technically, if he built it 40 feet high, he would avoid the jump, but that's a bullshit answer, so we're not going to take it. Jaguars have been known to jump up to 19 feet.
Bullshit answer. Hey, I got that.
Yeah, if he was 150 feet up, he'd probably be safe from the jaguar.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to go that extreme. Come on.
What, you think a jaguar can jump 40 feet?
Not vertically.
39 feet?
Not vertically.
No, they've been known to jump up to 19 feet, though. That's fairly impressive. Since you're already at 5 points, I don't feel the need to be charitable with your bullshit answer, so I will award you no points.
Fine.
Also, for the viewers at home, let it be noted that I'm giving him the finger.
Yes, he is.
Moving on to the last question. Which panther has the strongest bite?
Lion?
The lion. Nope, the jaguar. The jaguar has a bite force of 2,000 foot-pounds.
Damn.
Nearly twice that of the lion. King of the jungle, my ass. Well, Mike, that gives you 5 points out of a possible 13. You did better than me, but only just. So you can chalk this one up as a win if you'd like, and you'll have to come at me harder next week.
Phrasing!
2014 is drawing to a close. We would like to give it a proper send-off. Join us on December 28th for a special year-end show where we salute those we've loved and lost, reminisce on the events that made us smile, and look forward to the future that 2015 will bring. Can't do this on our own, though. We need your stories of 2014. Write us with your personal triumphs and tragedies and fond memories of those who are no longer with us, so that we can honor them together as we read your letters on the air. Then we'll all raise our glasses and toast to the new year.
Well, I am looking forward to that. That sounds like it's going to be a good episode.
I think it'll be a good show.
Well, it's not quite end of the year yet, but I do have a few more news articles for you.
Let's see what you have.
First thing, a homeless man in Michigan steals an ambulance to go to a strip club. When asked by the police where he was going, he said to the booby trap to see a dancer.
Now, if you were a cop, would you let him go?
I think I would at least think about it.
Where are you going? To the booby trap? Got any room in there for one more?
The Eye of Sauron is to watch over Moscow starting December 11th, 2014. They're actually putting up a Eye of Sauron on the top of one of the skyscrapers in the middle of Moscow in honor of Lord of the Rings being released on December 11th.
Is this a permanent fixture, or is this just going to be
I could not
stunt?
find when and if they're going to take it down. I couldn't find any end date to it, but they are putting up a Eye of Sauron up there in the middle of Moscow. A rogue sheep escapes owner and runs wild through the streets before being cornered by police and was found at an Old West middle school.
Wake up, sheeple. The police are bad for you.
Well, apparently a lady in Niceville purchased a sheep.
Niceville.
Before getting it home, a young lady had just purchased the sheep.
What is a woman going to do with a sheep?
I don't have a clue, so I'm just going to skip that. This is one of my favorites. You know the that metal band, Slayer? They're, hardcore, rough and tough.
Oh, I love Slayer.
Yes, Slayer's some good stuff. They rescued a freezing homeless kitten while on tour in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah?
I thought that was just phenomenal.
That's fantastic.
I mean, a kitten's a kitten. It's great. That's adorable. But the fact that it's Slayer, you got all these guys that are, supposed to be hard asses, and they've got their satanic logos everywhere, and they're rescuing kittens. What are you going to say about them now, Christians?
They're Slayer.
That's fantastic.
Cats are evil, though.
I got too excited. And lastly, 2 men charged with throwing a snake. Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes. 2 men at a sandwich shop got in an argument over onions with the sandwich clerk.
That's a thing that I've done before, so I'm with you.
One man reached in the other man's jacket pocket, pulled out a snake, and threw it at him behind the counter. The employees ran out the building, called the cops. They found the snake, found out it was not poisonous. The 2 men are now being trespassed and in custody for assault.
I think that qualifies as simple assault. No?
Nah.
All right. This week's episode of the Close Enough Radio podcast is brought to you by A Clockwork Garage. Visit www.aclockworkgarage for all your holiday shopping needs. Our audio technician is Jesselyn Hinkelstein, Esquire. We want to hear from you. Send us your questions, send comics to us.
Please send me the comics.
Send your questions, comments, music and movie suggestions, and outright insults to closeenoughladio@gmail.com. Or visit us on our Facebook fan page, Close Enough Radio. And now over to Mike for this week's featured local band.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
This week's local band is out of Carolina Beach, North Carolina, on Dr. Gone Records. They're a garage thrash-style band called Deadly Lo-Fi with their song Dr. Gone Crazy.